Aloha, this is Tom Lesher with the weekly Pele Report, and I'm going to do this week a little different because I am here at the Glastonbury Healing Pools, the Chalice Well, and rather than look at my face, I thought you might rather enjoy a tour of these gardens, the Castle Gardens. And this is a very special place. And this is a very special week with very many special events happening. This is an astrological report for the week of August 9th. I've held off till today because I just arrived in Glastonbury. I'm just down from the Tor, which is a very powerful, these are ancient sacred sites, and this is a healing well which contains the healing waters and the springs, which is what is so needed and necessary for this time. It's very appropriate with Venus moving through the sign of Cancer. Coming into, this is King Arthur's Pool. The red water contains a tremendous amount of iron and makes everything red that it touches. So Venus has gone into Cancer, a water sign. It is coming into an opposition with Pluto and square Uranus. I've talked about this Uranus square Pluto for quite some time. It's going on from now until December of 2014, and as such, it's an indication of a long-term, deep transformation within the whole psyche of human consciousness. This is the Lion's Pool, the only place where you can really fill up your glasses. Maybe we'll come back to that. It's a little distracting trying to do this report with the people coming by, but the gardens are so beautiful. I just had to show you. So let's just get along with some of the more astrological aspects here, because the main thing that I want to talk about today here is that Mars is in the sign of Libra, and it is coming into an exact conjunction with Saturn in that sign of Libra. Next Wednesday is the exact day. So we have this kind of build-up now. Venus has gone into Cancer, opposing Pluto, squaring Uranus, coming up to Mars in conjunction with Saturn. And here we come to the Chalice Well, where I need to be quiet. So what does that all mean? Mars conjuncting Saturn, Venus in Cancer, all this astrological jargon. What it means is that this is a time of really getting in touch with some of our deepest, darkest shadows, some of our anger, and of course anger is an overlay to deeper emotions, and these deeper emotions of course reveal aspects of ourselves that our soul wants to redeem, that we want to save, pull up, look at, and heal within ourselves. Saturn deals with suppression, and the shadow is the result of suppressing our feelings, our needs, and it results in shame. It results in guilt when we bury these true aspects of our nature. So Saturn moving through Libra now, and it has been since October of 2009, is really giving us this opportunity through our partnerships and through our relationships to look at ourselves in a new way and to deal with all the buried stuff that we don't like to admit to, that is hanging on from childhood, from our parents, from mom and dad, needs that we had, fears that we hold, issues around abandonment, issues around not being heard, about being controlled. So now Mars comes around to Saturn. Mars is anger, but Mars coming through Libra is our desire, and that desire is one in the sign of Libra to connect. What happens? Mars comes into Libra, there's this strong desire and urge to unite and connect with another person, and boom, oh, bumps into Saturn, bumps into all the obstacles, all the limitations that are preventing that union, that are making it so that it doesn't happen. That gets us in touch with our anger, that it's not happening, the other person is not bending to our will, the other person is not doing what we want. However, the good news is that through that anger, and through deep conversations, and through confrontation, we make Freudian slips. We kind of, in the heat of the moment, in the heat of our emotion, we say things that we wouldn't say if we were calm and cool. And we expose parts of ourselves that we otherwise wouldn't really expose. That's the Freudian slip, is kind of saying things that we normally wouldn't say, but that reveal a deeper truth. I encourage you to have deep conversations. Get into some heated discussions, maybe debates. Some people call them arguments. I encourage you to, write nasty letters. You don't have to necessarily mail them or say them, but just like write without thinking, without controlling, without suppressing. Get down to the roots, get down to the basics. That's what this time is all about. That's why we are at the well. Yes, you saw those two circles, interconnecting circles. Yes, the Vesica Pisces. This is the Vesica pool. Yes, the Vesica is these two interlining circles. It is the combination, the uniting of above and below, the light and the dark, the masculine and the feminine. Today, actually, Black Moon Lilith is conjunct the star Algol, and that is a very deep, dark star. Yes, the mythology and all of the history around that star is very deep and dark. And Lilith, we know, is this angry, dark energy that has been buried and kicked out of our consciousness, out of our psyches. So we're dealing with deep, dark stuff. And that's why the mantra for this week is, in the deep, dark passages of the night, I find my pathway to the light. For in those places, my faults are revealed, and in finding their value, I am truly healed. It's in this dark place that we come into our faults. We say things, we expose ourselves. I really just wanted to be with you for sex. I just wanted to be with you for your money. I just wanted to be with somebody, anybody, didn't really care who it was, and you came along. I'm still dealing with childhood issues where my mother or my father just wasn't there for me. I've got these issues of abandonment, and they make me angry towards the opposite sex. There's all these kinds of, we don't like to admit these things about ourselves, much less to somebody else. And yet it's through this opening and this revealing that we see the value. And what is the value? The value in some of these faults is that we accept ourselves more fully, we forgive ourselves, we forgive everyone else that we've blamed and has been involved, and that leads to the true healing. As long as we're denying and avoiding and suppressing, we're not healing. So this Mars coming around to Saturn is like the sword Excalibur going into the rock, going into all that buried stuff. And it can open it like surgery, like the scalpel. For true healing, when we totally, unconditionally accept all of our faults, all of our issues, we see that they really weren't that bad to start with, and we're really not that bad to start with, and our partners are not that bad to start with, and we can go to the next level, the next step. So use your anger, use your frustration now to have those deep conversations that open you up to deeper self-love and future deeper union. Namaste, aloha, so much love.